Hot takes. How do you even classify a hot take? Everybody has different opinions. Everything is subjective in terms of music. So how does one really consider what a hot take is? Well, in 21 Pilots instances, there are more popular takes and less popular takes. And today, well, a while ago, I posted a thread in my community tab where I asked you guys what your biggest 21 Pilots hot takes were. So today, I'm going to take a few of those, discuss them with you, and let's just talk about this in a nice, civil, meaningful way. First hot take we have is from th.nd.r. They have 3 hot takes. First one is Psy is slightly better than both Vessel and Blurryface. You didn't really give your opinion or delve deep into it, but I completely agree with you. I think Scaled and Icy has a lot more going for it than the other albums. While Vessel has consistent themes, a lot of the songs on Vessel feel very samey. They all have, the part where something is repeated over and over again, then it's screamed, and then it goes into like this instrumental. It's a very dated sound, but it's nostalgic. Blurryface wise, I think a lot of the lyrics here are cringe. I think a lot of the production is not very good. And overall, I think Blurryface has aged worse than Vessel. Scaled and Icy, a lot of the songs are going back to early, songwriting techniques. And I think that that's done very well in a sense where this whole album is about propaganda and having a happier sound. And it does the poppier sound better than Blurryface ever could have. Their second hot take is Tyler and Josh should be more outspoken about human rights issues than they are at this time, as those issues A, affect their fans, B, affect mental health, and C, are just things people should care about and speak up about as human beings. Not to mention that disabled people have been notably having a really rough time getting proper accommodation at shows. I completely disagree with this. It's kind of a hot topic. I mean, we're in hot takes, but celebrities like Tyler and Josh are not political figures. They don't do many interviews that aren't about their music. They're not on many talk shows. They like to keep their lives very, very private, and I respect that. They're human beings just like you and me. There's no reason that you and I should go ahead and bug them to talk about issues. While yes, they have a platform, it is not their responsibility. Tyler Joseph writes music for the mentally hurt, for the mentally disabled. All the music is about how he has problems, he has issues, and he can relate that to you, and you can relate to him because of that. There isn't really any reason why we should bug him about posting a link on Twitter to a charity, or telling his thoughts on certain issues going around in the world right now. That's not something that he's here for. That's not what he wants to talk about. I really don't want to hear about his opinion on that because that's his own private, personal information. And sure, maybe they could talk more about how disabled people have been being treated worse by venues, but it's really not their fault. They don't handle the tickets. They don't handle what happens in the pit. They don't handle what happens in the seats. That is the venue's issue. There's not much an artist can do about that. And at concerts, they are very vocal and accommodating. They will stop the show in the middle of a song if they see something going wrong with someone. They will be very nice about what's going on. But at the end of the day, Tyler and Josh, they're just 2 people. You shouldn't expect that much from them. But the third hot take that this person had was the clique gives music reviewers way too much flack. Let people like what they like and dislike what they dislike. They're not doing it for clicks. They just have a different music taste than we do. They are humans just like us. It's fine. And since they are humans, their opinions might change sometimes. And the fact that those opinions change is also way too harshly judged by the clique. So, in a way, I get this. You shouldn't get mad at someone else's opinion. But at the same time, in the public eye, 21 Pilots is treated as a joke because of Blurryface and the popularity, and people just misunderstanding the entire band's brand and what they're trying to do. So a lot of the time, people have preconceived notions about 21 Pilots. Anthony Fantano didn't even give the contract a chance. He listened to it for a minute, said it sounded like Linkin Park, and shut it off. There's a lot of people that are music reviewers that don't respect music unless they have preconceived notions on why they would like it. So while I agree with you, it's kind of a 50-50 in that regard. But thank you for all your hot takes. Some very good discussion there. On a lighter note, Pink Lemonade says, Scaled and Icy is not just good, but actually a marvelous work of art that is incredibly misunderstood. Oh my gosh, I could talk about her for hours. I completely agree with you. So many people don't understand the little nuances in the writing of Scaled and Icy or the little production choices in there. This whole era is just so good. I'm so glad that we didn't go straight from Trench to Breach or Clancy, whatever they had planned, because Scaled and Icy is a great album to come out during COVID about isolation, but it's also just a great album about denial in general. It fits perfectly in the story, but also in real life. And there's so many masterful songs on here that people don't give credit to because it doesn't sound like 21 Pilots. From LincDoesStuff, we have Paladin Straight Kinda Sucks. It feels rather underproduced compared to the rest of the album, and it feels sonically misplaced. Okay, alright. Completely disagree here. It kind of feels sonically misplaced, but not really. There's a lot of synth on Clancy, and there's a lot of like angelic, like echoey vocals where there's a lot of layers. And what do you mean underproduced? Like, sure, at first it's just ukulele, but then it goes into ukulele and drums, and then you get to the bridge and it's so much synth, so well produced. This is like one of the best produced tracks on Clancy. What are you saying, dude? What? Like, okay, it's probably bottom 5 or bottom 4 for Clancy for me because I don't go to it that much, but like, at least have like a good critique. Talk about the bird noises or something. From I-IFM, we got Stressed Out MTV is the best version of Stressed Out. Ride MTV is the best version of Ride. Heathens Livestream is the best version of Heathens. All right, let's break this down. Stressed Out MTV is the best version of Stressed Out. I actually agree with this one. Besides the Clancy live show ones with the immaculate ending, Stressed Out MTV takes the nostalgic sound of Stressed Out and just puts it to a whole other level. I love Josh's vocals in here because this is a song where it's pretty much written about Tyler and Josh. Both of them can relate to these lyrics, unlike something like maybe Neon Gravestones where it's mainly like a Tyler written song. I love the changes here. I love the way that it's more synth heavy than like psychedelic in its original form. And it just feels like a more mature version of Stressed Out where the lyrics hit harder. Ride MTV, I don't really like it. I think it's the worst version of an MTV song, but it's not bad. I see what you mean. I do think it's better than the original. I don't think the reggae feel of the original and the high bridge part with the falsetto that's a little bit much really fit well together at all. I think it's more eased out here and more mature. I'd much rather listen to the MTV version, even though I don't really like the original or the MTV version that much. And then Heathens live stream, yeah, it's the best version of Heathens. I mean, not only is Trees along with it, but it's the most emotional version of Heathens that we have ever gotten, and it works really well because this is a song about the click, for the click, and having it in a more emotional ukulele style way just makes it more meaningful. Kokoi T78, sorry, I might be butchering your names, says, Vessel is the best album by far. I prefer Tyler spitting all my mental problems to my face instead of talking about Nico or whatever. It's better when you know what he's talking about is what you're going through instead of some giant depression metaphor with fantasy stuff. Although this approach helps for more people to get to like the band and enjoy the music, and they're damn good at it. Alright, so I really like the lore. The lore is what keeps me coming back to 21 Pilots and really invested. I don't think I would like them as much if it wasn't for the lore. I'd still like them quite a bit, but it's really what made me fall in love with the band, I guess you could say. And I do think that the newer songs are not written as well as songs like stuff on Vessel and Self-Titled. I think Tyler was really in his bag and could write amazingly about the issues at hand. And, while Clancy and Scale and Icy still have real issues in them, they're not as much and they're not written as well. Take the Navigating Bridge. I know I hated on it a lot, but all he says the whole time is, I'm sad because everybody leaves and everybody dies, versus something like Ode to Sleep, where he articulates his thoughts so much to the point that the song is 5 minutes. Now, we don't really get songs over 4 minutes because there's just not a lot for Tyler to say anymore. And that's okay. I think that Trench had the best balance of this, where you had a lot of lore stuff, but it was also very two-sided, where you had lore stuff that could also relate to real life, and both were written so well in both of their categories. So I agree with you in that sense, but I don't think Vessel is the best sounding album just because of how dated it is and how every song kind of can blend together if you're not a fan who's heard the songs over and over again. Okay, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have Indigold Official saying, without regional at best, Vessel is their worst album. Have you heard Blurry Face, my guy? Have you heard Blurry Face? Vessel is nowhere near the worst album. I think Vessel is much better than Self-Titled. As much as I love the lyrics there, the singing is not very great. Not that it's, much better on Vessel, but it's better by a little bit. And I think that Vessel articulates the thoughts a lot better, and Self-Titled has a lot of, slow piano ballads that, while I do like them, you can't really vibe to them the same way you can vibe to the Vessel songs. And disregarding Blurry Face as one of the worst is kind of crazy. I mean, you got songs on there like Not Today. You got songs on there like Polarize. You got lyrics like I wasn't raised in the hood, but I know a thing or two about pain and darkness. You got lyrics like Don't You Test Me Though, just because I play the piano doesn't mean I'm not willing to take you down. I'm sorry. So overall, flame Indigold in the comments. Just don't do that. I'm kidding. He's my friend. That's why I can say that. But don't send him hate. He's a good guy, guys, even though his takes are ass. Then we got Spidermelon123 saying, so many people compare new albums to Trench. Yes, it is a masterpiece, but it's kind of unfair to always want new albums to live up to or surpass it, in my opinion, instead of viewing them as their own things. I definitely agree with you here, even though Trench is my favorite album ever made. I did find Clancy a little bit disappointing at first because, Overcompensate started with this, welcome back to Trench. This is a heavy, darker sound compared to like Scaled and Icy and other stuff. And it kind of fizzled after that. And I kind of was a little bit disappointed. But, I set my expectations to a level where they weren't too high, but I was expecting something that I shouldn't have. I was expecting to get something that really didn't make a lot of sense to get. I thought every song was going to have a darker tone to it. I thought it was going to be a lot of rap. I thought it was basically going to be Trench 2. And I don't really know why I thought that. Overcompensate kind of set false expectations, but it wasn't completely that song's fault. I think a lot of it had to do with me. And, I don't know why I expected every song to kind of have the same vibe. Most 21 Pilots albums have songs with completely different vibes on them. You got Good Day and No Chances on Scaled and Icy. You got The Hype and Jumpsuit on Trench, so on, so forth. Vessel, they kind of all blend together, but at the same time, True sounds nothing like Holding On to You. So I don't know why I was expecting the whole album to have the same vibe as Overcompensate, let alone the same vibe as Trench. So yeah, I do think that this is pretty much not a hot take and kind of real, even though a lot of people consider Trench their best album. I don't think it's fair to critique the newer albums based on the older ones. From Bennion, my boy, he says, the Craving single version is better than Jenna's version, and it's not really that close, not gonna lie. Okay, no. Jenna's version, Tyler said, was made in front of Jenna while their kids were at the table to be this nice, soft ukulele ballad without drums. It was made for Jenna, about Tyler and Jenna's relationship in the past. It's a sweet, heartfelt song about his wife. That's the way it was intended. And then Tyler was like, no one's really going to listen to that one or like that one, so we should add some production to it. Paul, just do that real quick. I don't really care if it sounds that good. I don't care if my vocals are very grating or if the instrumental doesn't really make sense for the vibe or if it just sounds like shit. So yeah, we'll make that and we'll make it a single to make it more accessible. And yeah, it sounds like really bad. Tyler, Joseph, if I ever meet you in person, if the single version comes up, I don't care if I'm a stan. Yeah, I'm a stan. I'm going to tell you it's ass. Hot take from annamob. People are too focused on the lore and forget that it is all a big metaphor for Tyler's personal experiences with mental health and religious conflict. I love how creative everyone is with their theories, but not everything is related to the story, so you don't have to keep trying to connect the dots. Okay. Tyler and Josh literally put things out there to try to get you to connect the dots. Most of the promotional stuff that they do is like all lore related, even if it doesn't go to a very far place sometimes. It's all lore related, and this is literally the end of the story, so people aren't too focused on the lore. A lot of it has to do with lore, and the theories aren't too far-fetched most of the time. A lot of the time, they're just not what actually happens. So I don't think people are too focused on the lore based on the fact that Blurry Face Trench, Scaled and Icy Clancy, and Breach are 5 lore albums. What? From akionlizard, we have maybe the hottest take of them all. My Blood is probably one of the worst songs the band has put out, and I would like to hear any argument for it that doesn't include the music video. Yes, the music video is fantastic, but the song on its own, I'd honestly rather listen to Goner, and I do not like Goner, or Oh Misbeliever. Very situational. It also flat out does not fit with the rest of Trench. It probably would fit better on Clancy or Scaled and Icy. My Blood is overrated and overhyped, especially over the likes of Morph, The Hype, Routines, Vignette, Navigating, Redecorate, to name a few. It's like, it feels like it's not a 21 Pilots song, and I binged their entire discography, barring some rap songs. And even then, some of those are fantastic and are overhated, like Kitchen Sink. Zach actually has discernible lyrics. He's an insanely... What? Okay, all right. What? You can't call Zach an insanely talented lyricist. Man, I'm getting heated. I should not be getting heated. This is probably a kid. Okay. All right. The falsetto in My Blood sounds so good. It is with the likes of Morph for how good this falsetto sounds. It's with the likes of Vignette for how good the falsetto sounds. The bass coming in, that is a Trench sound right there. What do you mean it doesn't fit on Trench? Come My Lip has bass. Jumpsuit has bass. A bunch of other songs that I can't think of right now have bass on them. That's like the Trench staple. So many of these songs have that dirty, crunchy, grungy bass. And you saying that freaking Morph and Navigating and Kitchen Sink are better than My Blood, dude? Kitchen Sink, what do you mean Zach is a good lyricist? He literally makes up words. He goes, time gains in the moment. Like, what is he even saying, dude? What is he even saying? There's nothing of substance, and he can't rap at all. Like, he's trash at it. Like, okay. All right, let me calm down a little bit. I said I wanted you guys to be civil. Let me be civil too. I think My Blood is written so well. It is written about a family member. It's written about how if someone does something to someone you love so much, you will go with them in the dark no matter what it is. It's kind of like Bounce Man in that way, where it's like, I don't care what you've done before. You are my family. I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to go fight someone for you. And this is apparent even without the music video. Even without the music video, it's about helping out a family member. It's about loving your family, loving your blood. And not only does the song sound great, but the lyrics are written so well. So, WTF even is this song is your last sentence in this comment. WTF even is this comment, man. Gosh. All right. My bad. 21 PopcornTano. I'm going to go with that. says they don't even have one skip in their whole discography. Yes, they do. Just because they're your favorite band doesn't mean you're not allowed to dislike a song or two. I think glazing them a little bit and saying every song is good is just a little bit too much. You gotta admit some of them are just not good, and it could be a taste thing, but there's no artist with a perfect discography. Even like the most loved artists of all time, like Kanye or Michael Jackson or Taylor Swift, like they have bad songs in their discography, and you can admit it, guys. Like, you don't have to glaze them that much. Level of Concern is a top 15 song by them. I love the groovy instrumental. The production is stellar and a total nostalgia fest, taking me back to the early 2020s during COVID, is what PopcornTano said. I kind of understand where you're coming from. This is the precursor to Scaled and Icy. I think this is what made Tyler want to make more, nostalgic, poppy sounding songs, because his mom was like, hey, there's a lot of sad songs coming out right now. I need like a happy COVID song. So Level of Concern, very good song. I completely agree with you there. Top 15 though, definitely not. I think that there are some lyrics in here that are very situational, and they're very like COVID heavy. Like when he says my little quarantine, it's like, okay, I can't really listen to this without like cringing a little bit. And it's good, but I'd much rather listen to something like Saturday, which has more feels to it and is more like accessible in any situation to listen to. I also think it just sounds better, and his singing is better in that one, and the production is better. But, this is more of a taste thing. I just think that Level of Concern isn't something you can really listen to that much anymore because it's very situational. There's other COVID songs from 21 Pilots, pretty much one other, like Christmas Saves the Year, which is about how Christmas is going to save the bad year we've had of 2020 with COVID. But there's no COVID explicit lyrics in there. And I get it's situational because it's a Christmas song. But at the same time, this is a Christmas song for any year, not just a Christmas song for 2020, because it could be about Christmas coming to save any year that feels dreary and slow and weak. So, yeah. And last, and certainly least, honestly, we have Creeping Potato 4102's hot take, which is Blurry Face isn't cringe at all. Dude, stop it. I can think of like 20 cringy Blurry Face lyrics on the top of my head. I can't even pick which one to say, man. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. That's mean. Okay, all right. Let me do one more. Let me do one more to end it on a better note. Mrs. Spaghetti 8147 says, before you start your day is massively overhated and is a gorgeous song. If you ask someone to say why they don't like it, they point to the Slits line, which is a supreme cop-out. Completely agree with you here. Every other lyric is beautiful. The piano is beautiful. It's one of my favorite piano instrumentals on Self-Titled, honestly. Like, it draws so much emotion from me. And I think that the main critique for Before You Start Your Day would probably be the la das and how they're kind of drawn out, kind of drawing fake emotion in a way. But this song makes me so emotional. This is a song I used to listen to all the time when I was feeling very sad. And the Slits line, sure, it's a little gross, but like at the same time, he's just talking about eyes. He's talking about eyes. It doesn't matter that much. Why you make it a bigger deal out of this than you're supposed to. Oh my God, I've been recording way too long. All right, that's it, guys. I'm sorry if I offended you by making fun of your hot takes or a hot take that you agree with. But feel free to leave more hot takes in the comments down below, because this was really fun to go through. I looked at most of these blind, so let me know your hot takes. Write them down below to maybe be featured in the next video. And without any other criticisms, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Sorry.